Dhanyavad to all of the devotees. We have a beautiful gathering tonight, and Seva Didi has given a very nice topic, the greatest circumference. It's actually about Lord Nityananda, so we've been hearing for a few days now. And Krishna Kanta Didi will read this magazine article, Gaudiya Darshan.
Okay, Dandavad, dear devotees. I'm the reader. Okay, so this is, from Srila Bhaktivinoda Sridhar Goswami Maharaj describing Sri Nityananda Prabhu's mercy. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is there to consolidate the ground, the foundation, that will help us to make us further progress. Speedy progress without a good foundation may invite reactions. Our foundation comes from Nityananda Prabhu, Gurudev. That the foundation will not go away is the primary necessity. Sri Nityananda Prabhu's mercy sometimes exceeds that of Sri Chaitanya Dev. Chaitanya Dev sometimes cannot accept the fallen. If a bad precedent, how do you say? Precedent may be created by doing so, then he cannot accept them. So he has to consider someone's status and position and other things. But Nityananda Prabhu's mercy does not care for any unfavorable circumstances. It is so lavish and blind. It does not differentiate between sinners of different degrees. It is all-embracing. And Mahaprabhu cannot dismiss Nityananda Prabhu's recommendation. This is the connection we are given to understand. Nityananda Prabhu gave shelter even to those whom Mahaprabhu rejected, and gradually Mahaprabhu had to accept them. So the magnitude and circumference of Nityananda's grace is the greatest. For us, the most fallen souls, that is our solace. Bhaja Goranga Kaha Goranga Laha Goranga Nam Ye Dhana Goranga Bhaja Se Hoya Amara Pran. Nityananda Prabhu's duty is concentrated on bringing everyone to Goranga. He calls everyone to fall at the feet of Goranga. Nothing more is necessary. All else, the highest fortune, will be attained automatically. He simply calls out, collect souls, and throw them in the dust of Goranga's feet. Nothing else is necessary, whoever, a Muslim, a low-class person, or otherwise. Scholarship and so-called moral or material purity are not necessary. If anyone, even if they are of the lowest type, gets connection with the feet of Goranga, then all their disqualifications may be removed in a second. Goranga is such a touchstone, and anything he converts does not become a middle-class jewel. He becomes a jewel of the highest class. He is such a touchstone. Nityananda used to roam along both sides of the Ganges, calling out to one and all, "Come, join the camp of Sri Goranga. Bhaja Goranga Kaha Goranga Laha Goranga Nam Ye Jana Goranga Bhaja Se Hoya Mara Pran." The life of my life is one who has come to take shelter under the direction of my Lord Goranga. O fallen souls, gather round and beg my Lord Goranga for his grace. Automatically you will find yourself in Vrindavan. All the undesirable things within you will be cleared in no time, and unconsciously your pristine inner self will emerge and find suddenly that it is in the midst of the desire soil, Vrindavan, which is filled with the most wonderful paraphernalia. You will find you are at home, back at home. Get a ticket here in Navadip and you will quickly reach your home. We will get everything by the most magnanimous heart of Nityananda Prabhu. So then there is, I don't know if it's a note on my phone, is like a small Henanitai Binebai Radha Krishna Paitanai Drita Kori Dharanitai Paya. Firmly catch the holy feet of Nityananda. All else will come to you automatically. Goranga will come, and when Goranga comes, everything comes. Jai. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Okay.
And this beautiful discussion also, when he begins by speaking about Lord Nityananda, our Gurudev, or our foundation, and we have the good fortune here that the last month or so we've been reading in one chapter in Adi Leela that's directly about Lord Nityananda Balaram. And it's in regards to the expansions of Krishna and how he expands, and in this section when he's referring to the various expansions of Sankirtan coming, then actually in chapter 5 of the Adi Leela, particularly text 93, there's irrefutable evidence that he is our foundation. So that's what I wanted to read. Text 93, I offer my full obeisances unto the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus is the resting place of the multitude of planets. After creating millions of universes, the first Purusha entered into each of them is a separate form as Sri Garbhodakshayi. Entering the universe, he found only darkness, with no place in which to reside. Thus he began to consider. Then he created water from the perspiration of his own body, and with that water filled half the universe. The universe measures 500 million yojanas. Its length and breadth are one and the same. After filling half the universe with water, he made his own residence therein, and manifested the 14 worlds in the other half. There he manifested Vaikuntha as his own abode, and rested in the waters on the bed of Lord Shesha. He lay there with Ananta as his bed. Lord Ananta is a divine serpent having thousands of heads, thousands of faces, thousands of eyes, and thousands of hands and feet. He is the seed of all incarnations, and is the cause of the material world. From his navel grew a lotus flower, which became the birthplace of Lord Brahma. Within the stem of that lotus were the 14 worlds. Thus the Supreme Lord, as Brahma, created the entire creation. And as Lord Vishnu, he maintains the entire world. Lord Vishnu, being beyond all material attributes, has no touch with the material qualities. Assuming the form of Rudra, he destroys the creation. Thus, creation, maintenance, and dissolution are created by his will. He is the Supersoul, Hiranyagarbha, the cause of the material world. The universal form is conceived as his expansion. And finally, in text 107, this verse surprised me so much. That Lord Narayan is a part of a plenary part of Lord Nityananda Balaram, who is the source of all incarnations. So this helps us to understand even more how we're all based on Lord Nityananda from this aspect. Does somebody have some comments? Do you have some other background knowledge on this you'd like to share? I think I saw London is there. Yep. There's Lila Moy, Didi. Lavanya Moy.
Vishwananda.
Vishwananda? Vishwananda. Wow.
On the way home from India.
Okay, if there is no question.
Vishwananda. Dandavad.
Lavanya came to
No,
speak.
no, you just did a request. We did refuse it, but then we felt bad and we just unrefused it. But we're just here to listen. We're waiting. Our ears are learning to hear, and our hearts are waiting for your lovely.
Okay.
You're prepared. We didn't prepare anything. We're just prepared to listen. So forgive
That's
us.
fine. I wanted to make sure everyone had that experience of that's chapter 5 in Adi Lila, and it just was so much larger than I had thought about in a very long time concerning Lord Nityananda. So especially this time of the year, we want to observe everything we can. There's a very sweet discussion by Srila Gurudev about Lord Nityananda, Srila Guru Maharaj, the nectarian glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And in this section called Nityananda Prabhu, the merciful Lord of all Jiva souls, and he's talking about how Lord Nityananda is even more merciful to everyone than Lord Chaitanya. And so this is very uplifting too. Nityananda Prabhu accepted everyone, but Mahaprabhu would chastise those who were offensive. Mahaprabhu showed some caution in distributing Krishna Nama and Krishna Prema. Mahaprabhu followed the rules and regulations of sannyas life very strictly. And because of this, Mahaprabhu could not give shelter to offenders. When Mahaprabhu went to South India, he took Kaliya Krishnadas with him. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is referred to as Kala Krishnadas. On their tour, Kaliya Krishnadas suffered some disturbance with some women, and Mahaprabhu rescued him from that. Later, when they returned to Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu said, I want to leave this boy, Kaliya Krishnadas. He was irresponsible and greatly disturbed our mission. I don't want to keep him with me. I don't want to be responsible for him. So this is Mahaprabhu's outlook. And as he's mentioning, it's because of his being in the sannyasa order, so there's certain styles that he will follow. Kaliya Krishnadas, devotee of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, played this role in the Lord's drama. At that time, Nityananda Prabhu did not leave him. He told Mahaprabhu, if you do not want to keep, it is no problem. I will take him. I will send him to Navadvip to use to Sachimata and the other devotees that you have come back from South India. In this way, Nityananda showed his extreme mercy. And Kaliya Krishnadas spent the rest of his life with Nityananda Prabhu. So even when Mahaprabhu is angry, Nityananda is at his lotus feet. The conditioned souls can have much hope when they see the very deep grace. It is extreme.
Dandavad pranams to everyone. Once again, we get to speak about the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Very auspicious for us. And actually, no one can say it better than Srila Govinda Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj. They have the most in-depth understanding of that type of mercy. And so what little can we say? What little do we know? Only what we've heard. So actual mercy of Nityananda, when will it appear in my life? But we could see that Guru Maharaj, the Shuddha Maharaj, at the end of his pastimes here on this plane, he would chant Dayal Krishna, Dayal Nitai, Dayal Nitai, Dayal Nitai. He would often chant that, the mercy of Nityananda, looking for the mercy of Nityananda. And Srila Sridhar Maharaj had direct experience with Sri Nityananda. After he left the Gaudiya mission, he went to Ekachakra and he stayed there alone, solitary, just doing his bhajan. And still asking for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu at this time. And Nityananda Prabhu came to him in a vision and said, "You are asking for my mercy, but you are not distributing it." So when he got that message, he knew that he had to go out in public again, and he had to go and distribute what was given to him by his guru. So he came to Navadip, started Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. By his mercy, by the mercy of Srila Swami Raj, we are all here and participating in this and getting an opportunity to receive that mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And we heard how magnanimous Nityananda Prabhu was with his mercy, and the example of Kala Krishna Das. But we're also aware of that, and this is kind of the example being set here, is that the devotee of Mahaprabhu is actually more merciful than Mahaprabhu. So Sri Nityananda Prabhu, more merciful than the most magnanimous Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, giving Krishna Prem to those who are least qualified, that could not be accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we see even the devotees of Nityananda Prabhu are even more merciful. So in their own particular way, for example, Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat, he says that if you don't honor properly Sri Nityananda Prabhu, or you dishonor Sri Nityananda Prabhu, I will kick you in the head. So this is a particular type of mercy given by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is a disciple of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So he knows that if he is going to treat someone badly, Sri Nityananda Prabhu must come and give some mercy to that person. So even the people who are disrespecting Nityananda, those who are against the Vaishnavas, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is giving them an opportunity to also get the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu by kicking them in the head. So we could see that the different devotees have different ways different ways they are trying to distribute this mercy. And we are also trying as little as we can to try to distribute this mercy. We can say that this mercy is unlimited. As much as one can distribute, one will receive that amount of mercy. There's no end to the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, of Mahaprabhu. And as much as we can distribute, there is always a greater supply in waiting. And so this is like the characteristic that we could see in both Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, and Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram, non-different. But their nature, what's their nature? What's the difference in their nature? Is their self-distribution. Their magnanimous nature of delivering all the jiva souls, trying to bring them to the platform of Krishna consciousness, to the plane of spiritual world, to Goloka Vrindavan. And so we get this opportunity to ask for that mercy and to try to practice our spiritual life with the idea that only by their mercy can we make any real progress. There's one prayer in Pajavali written by, I'm not sure who it was written by. Maybe it was Rupa Goswami, I'm not sure. But Srila Govinda Maharaj liked it very much. And I don't know the exact shloka, but it's saying that this devotee is praying. He is saying that I am very fallen. I am the worst of the worst. I am very bad. And I heard you are Petit Pavan. You are a savior of the fallen souls. You are a friend to the fallen souls. And you will find no one as fallen as me. So please do the needful. Give me your mercy. There's no one who needs your mercy more than I do. And this type of sincere, honest prayer of the Vaishnava is something that it's inconceivable. I cannot imagine ever actually having this intense feeling of the need for the mercy of the Lord. When you come to the platform of a pure devotee, when you come to the level of spiritual awakenment, real spiritual awakenment, you'll see how desperate you can be for that infinite mercy, the infinite love and affection that is coming from the Lord. Until that time, I personally, but many also just have to keep going, and realizing that as we do our sadhana, the mercy is always there in the background. Sometimes it's in the front and apparent, and sometimes we cannot see what is the mercy and what is not the mercy. But with our faith, with our sadhana, with the association of the devotees, we continue on knowing that the mercy of the Lord must come. And why must the mercy of the Lord must come? It's because we are the most fallen. Rupa Goswami can say something, Krishna Das Kaviraj can say something, Vrindavan Das Thakur can say something. We can't even really say anything because these high devotees have such intense, honest, sincere feelings about their position in comparison to the Absolute. And we don't even have that conception, that connection where we can actually realize what is the Absolute, what is the infinite. But Krishna knows everything, Mahaprabhu knows everything, and so he must give us the mercy. He must give us the mercy. In particular, he must give us the mercy if we are serving the sadhu. We're serving the Vaishnava and the sadhu, the mercy of the Lord must come. Because Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, who says they are my real devotee? They are not my devotee. But who says they are the devotee of my devotee? They are my real devotee. And Srila Govinda Maharaj explained that in one time, a couple times actually, that I've heard. And he's saying that the real devotee of the Lord is a pure devotee 24 hours a day, serving the Lord, everything for his interest. And so the Lord is not worried about that person. But the Lord cannot serve that person. The Lord wants to give something to that person. The Lord wants to serve that pure devotee. But that pure devotee is not giving him any time. There's not a gap in his service where the Lord can sneak in and offer him something. But the devotee of this sadhu, of the Vaishnava, they are not so clever. They may have some fault, they may have some engagement in other places, but they are trying to serve. And so Krishna can give the mercy, his mercy to them, so that they can serve the sadhu. They can serve the Vaishnava. So we are in a very fortunate position in this era of Kali Yuga, even though it says in the scriptures that this age of Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults. But there is one redeeming quality, and that is what has been given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. That's the chanting of the holy name. So there is one great thing. So actually, we're extremely fortunate that we came to this material world, that we were entrapped by Maya, because we have been punished so often, because we're suffering so much, the Lord has to come and give us the highest medicine. We are in such a low position, suffering so much. We've got the worst kind of disease. The Lord has come and give the highest medicine. And that highest medicine is the Maha Mantra, to help us go to that spiritual, the highest spiritual plane, direct, elevator to the highest spiritual plane. Not walking, not the stairs, not an escalator, but an elevator, direct to Goloka Vrindavan. And all we have to do is just continue our sadhana. Not do any Vaishnava aparad, and always try to serve the Vaishnavas, the sadhus, Guru. Jai. Jai Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai.
Jai. And Prabhu, what you were talking reminds me of a question that often comes up, and that is, how do we see the great Vaishnavas like our gurus actually serving the lower section? Why are they so enthusiastic to give us so much assistance? And it just reminds me of one very early disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who, a lady, she's still practicing in the Los Angeles temple, and she told me that one day when she came to serve Srila Prabhupada, she had no sari. There weren't many saris around, and so her laundry wasn't in a situation. She just wore something else to do her service. And Srila Prabhupada just went to his own shelves, and he got one of his own dhotis and gave to her. She was a short lady, so it worked. But she got so much understanding from him that this would enhance service. This would make her be in the line of practicing. We have our japa mala and certain other things, like we wear our tilak, we put on a sari or a dhoti, and this assists us, and our gurus know about these things, and that's why they're training us. That's why they're telling us how to behave, how to properly eat, how to make an offering for the Lord, how to shop for that offering. So everything that we have, understanding how to make some progress, is coming from them. So in that way, they're pleasing their Lord, they're pleasing their Guru by assisting us. So it's a very sweet explanation. Thank you.
Okay, okay,
Does anybody have questions?
I'll ask a question to Ishvarananda Prabhu.
Ah,
What's the difference between Gurudev and Nityananda Prabhu?
Prabhu. You know, this is not going to be a very good answer, but I think that they're non-different.
Good answer.
There's the form of Gurudev that's coming, and he's distributing Nityananda's mercy in a physical way. That's how I've heard it explained. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I understood, yes.
we're counting on that.
What
to
do you
be
think,
true.
Kumkum?
Yes, that is true. And if it weren't, then we would have to have faith that it is. Make any progress without that being true. So we're certain that it is. And of course, in our great books like Shri Guru and His Grace, that is the central theme that we'll read there, is how we see our Guru as none different than the mercy incarnation of Lord Nityananda. One thing that we notice about our Gurus in the whole line is that they're not changing anything. The essential message is being passed down and down. And even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you can see that these personalities were all living and learning from each other within really a few short years. But why is the message always exactly the same? And that is because it's not being changed by anyone, but there are unlimited ways that it can be expressed. And so that's why the same message is always passed down. There will always be some questions, those who don't have any idea and those who are going deeper and deeper and deeper, and they want to have a finer explanation. They want to challenge what doubts are coming in their own mind and have those driven out. And so it's unlimited how many times we want to hear these topics. It's not that it's a subject matter, and after so many certain number of years we pass some exams and then we have a certificate and that's it. It's not that at all. It's always dynamic. And we even read that in the spiritual world also it's dynamic. Everyone is seeing everyone as their guru and trying to serve all of the others. So in that we're already practicing our goal.
There's a question from Priyanana Devi Dasi.
Priyanana?
Yeah. Any particular example of Nityananda's mercy in your life?
In my own life? Yes, I was just giving actually that's true for everyone, but I think what you're asking is that can I say one example? And just the other night I was given a very long answer to something I've thought about so many times, and that is that how did we all come to the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada from our backgrounds where we had not heard of India? I remember for myself, I knew one thing about India. Somebody had said they don't wear shoes there. That was the sum and substance of what I understood about the country of India. And so how did we all change completely our life and join Srila Prabhupada? And this was always hard to understand, but at the same time we just kept trying to stumble along because it was so sweet we couldn't do anything else, even without being very good at explaining why we wanted to. We just knew that we wanted to. And then when I learned about the pranam mantra that Srila Gurudev wrote for Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, a nice proper pranam mantra, and he says there that he is Shaktivesh avatar of Lord Nityananda, which comes from a discussion that he had had with Srila Guru Maharaj, based on no ordinary person could have done what Srila Prabhupada had done. And so Guru Maharaj was emphasizing he could not have been anyone but a Shakti avatar, and answered of Lord Nityananda when Gurudev asked him more about that. And so then I came to understand how we all stumbled into this wonderful ocean and wanted to dive nonstop in it. That was directly the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Finding some people who somehow or other could give some assistance, some extra hands and legs, mouths, get something done, however imperfectly, for his great devotee, Srila Prabhupada. So that was my most prominent personal experience with the mercy of Lord Nityananda. I can't but think that it's completely true that he will give mercy to anyone and everyone. Mistakes, not the concern. Don't offend the Vaishnava. Don't offend other Vaishnavas. Not only those great Vaishnavas like Lord Nityananda, but they will be displeased. We can't think that because somebody is not as great as Lord Nityananda that an offense to them is not as bad an offense as it is to Lord Nityananda. But the more we learn about Lord Nityananda and all of those great Vaishnavas, the more we hear that they are offended if we are offending someone who is trying to come to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it will be an offense to them if we offend somebody else, even a very new person. So we give honor always like that. Any rate, Priyanana Didi Jai.
Very nice. Now we want to hear when Prafulla got Nityananda's mercy.
In Italy.
Yeah, go for it.
It was a good day. Good to meet you all.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Actually, we all got Nityananda's mercy as members of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. We can clearly say. Because maybe everybody already knows, but the original Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math is in Eka Chakra. When Srila Guru Maharaj was having very solitary time, secluded in his bhajan kuti on the bank of Ganga, separated from all the missionary movement, ex-Gaudiya Math, fragmented in so many parties and groups. He just want to be alone and live Krishna consciousness internally and try to go deep in the concept of Charanagati. But one day, before setting up in Navadip, he wanted to go to Ekachakra and ask Nityananda Prabhu the permission to live in Navadip. And maybe you all know this story, but maybe some new devotee doesn't know. So praying deeply Nityananda Prabhu in Ekachakra, he got some inspiration, some almost direct speech from Nityananda. He told him, you are here begging mercy from me, but you already got so much mercy from your Gurudev. Why you don't distribute that? You don't give mercy, you want mercy, but you don't give mercy yourself. So Srila Maharaj got this message from Nityananda Prabhu directly, and he understood he has to try to extend his wealth to others, and went back to Navadip, and he started to accept disciple, and he started actually Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math after that intuition. So Nityananda Prabhu is the cause of us being in touch with Krishna consciousness through, in the line of Guru Maharaja and Govinda Maharaja, Shri Rupa Goswami. So directly we are kind of object of his mercy, all of us. And in our altar, there is our classic altar is Shri Guru Gauranga and then Radha Krishna. So there is Mahaprabhu, but there is no Nityananda Prabhu, because it would be like a rasa-basa contrast between rasas. And Nityananda is represented by Guru, Gauranga, Radha Krishna. So it's very meaningful, our altar. And Nityananda Prabhu is not some distant divine energy, is right with us as Gurudev. And I remember once a devotee came to Navadip and said to Gurudev, please give some mercy. Gurudev, please give mercy to me. And Gurudev said, how much mercy you want more than this? You already got so much mercy. So for all of us, it's like that. We got already too much mercy. And as Chimoy said, we just have to not to waste it and go on with our spiritual life without being foolish and preserve this chance that has been extended to us and make a good use of it. So this is my short word for tonight. Maybe Prabhana, you want to say something? Prabhana is the recipient of Guru Maharaj mercy.
Perfect example.
Anutama, you want to add something? Your last night in Villa Govinda.
By Nityananda's mercy. Well, I don't know what can I add actually, because all my presence here, all my being here is like total Nityananda's mercy, and I can only pray not to waste and not to become like too arrogant again, not to see it everywhere, and actually I'm just keep meditating on how can I be useful now for Nityananda, because he already was so merciful, and also in the form. So yeah, I think now it's only our part. How I like that Keshavananda in our parikrama, he told that we already fell enough. We did our job, so now it's other part, to receive mercy and actually to distribute it probably. Yeah. So how can I be useful for Nityananda and for Guru? Just trying also to be merciful and compassionate maybe to others. It's not so easy. It's so difficult, but at least for some close people, for devotees, of course. So yeah, thank you very much for this ability to express my puppy brain.
And Didi, I was thinking too about the question and the way you beautifully answered. And it's true, we're all here because of the mercy of Srila Swami Maharaj.
Mm.
And Guru Maharaj Srila Govinda Maharaj has said it many times, that the only reason that all of us has come to Krishna consciousness is because Srila Swami Maharaj came to the West on the order of his Guru Dev and distributed Krishna consciousness all over the world. Blasted a hole in the egoist mentality of the Western world. But, so that's why Srila Maharaj was considering him as Shaktivesh avatar of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, a personification of the power of Nityananda Prabhu, is because of his life experiences, Srila Swami Maharaj's life experiences as he was preaching in the West. And some examples I've heard, there's, I think her name was Jamuna or something like that in New York. She was one of the first disciples, and she would just have a cigarette and come in to cook for the deities, and Prabhupada had to tell her, at least wash your hands. Wash your hands and then you can cook or serve and stuff like that. She wasn't even washing, whatever, normal, that time, 60s, everybody smoked. And just many other examples where, Srila Swami Maharaj said he had to be the guru, he had to be the cook, he had to be the cleaner, he had to be something else. There's another thing too he was required to do, all in the beginning is he had to do everything to distribute this nectarian ocean of love and affection that is Krishna consciousness. Everything he had to do. He had to be so tolerant, humble, and always giving out at others. Even I think in his first day, he had to share a refrigerator, his food, one spot, meat, the bad meat on the bottom part, and everything he just tolerated in order to distribute the highest nectarian consciousness to the lowest people. And another way we can look at it too, that I think of, is that when Saraswati Thakur, when he tried to distribute in the West, they went to the high class section. They went to lawyers, they went to the ministers, government officials, stuff like that. And there was some success, some things happened, but it didn't really take off. And when Srila Swami Maharaj, when he went to America, at first he tried that approach, and it didn't work, and he came back. And then he went again, and then he went to the low class section, the low class people. And then the miracle happened, Krishna consciousness all over the world in 5 years, 2 years, whatever. And that also seems to be Nityananda's character. It's like he wants to help the lowest of the low, those who need it the most. So that's another I think that we can see in Srila Swami Maharaj and Srila Nityananda Prabhu. Amazing that we have this wonderful example of the mercy of Sri Nityananda Prabhu in our lives.
Hippie ki jai.
Hippies ki jai.
Well, there are actually so many examples. I'll just mention one more that always strikes me, you may not have heard, that shows the extreme mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And he was in a very difficult situation, coming from a life of being comfortable. He was not in it was not like a lot of material wealth, but it was certainly comfortable and loving and intelligent people all around him and his family. And when he began in New York, it was anything but. He was sometimes having to carefully walk up his steps because there would be drug addicts or drunks sleeping on. It was that kind of a neighborhood in the early years. And he would always simply be preaching. He was clear about continuing to give this message, this Vani of Mahaprabhu. And there was one time when he finally had some gathering of a few people who were intelligent, they were scholastic, and they were ready to listen to him. And one of the drunks who he had also been preaching to in prior days had gotten something from him. And in the middle of this other meeting with these more dignified people, the drunk came in with 2 rolls of toilet paper and tossed them in front of everybody to give them to Srila Prabhupada, and turned around and stumbled out. And rather than being indignant toward, oh, look at these people, this man who has messed up my presentation, not the teeniest bit of any kind of arrogance like that, he said to this assembly, just see, he has begun his devotional service. Because this is his deep understanding. He's not unclear about what is the mercy that he's bringing. He was very clear about that and would apply it in any kind of circumstance. Personification of Trinada Pisuni Trina. That's who we are trying to approach. That's who is giving us assistance. Anyone want to say anything before we wrap up?
Yeah, 1 minute. Braja Sundar, we want to hear your voice.
What? I don't understand what happens.
Oh, now we are satisfied. Now we can go to sleep. We just want to hear your voice.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Right.
Dandavat vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Yascha kripasindhubhaivacha patitanam bhavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Dandavat to all. Dandavat Kumkum Devi Dasi Chimoy Prabhu, Papanna Prabhu, Anuttama, and all
Dandavat
the
to all the
devotees.
devotees.